Chapter 10 باب ما جاء في الذبح لغير الله. Chapter slaughtering for other than Allah. Slaughtering for other than Allah. وقول الله تعالى قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. That again, this is one of the types of shirk that it negates the tawheed. Why? Because slaughtering is an act of worship. Because it's mentioned in the Quran. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. To pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wanhar meaning and slaughter. So it's an order from Allah. It's ibadah, and the ibadah has to be done only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this ayah clearly mentioned that your salah and the nusuk, which is the slaughtering, and your life and death is all for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَنَا لَا شَرِيكَ لَهُ وَبِذَلِكَ أُمِرْتُ وَأَنَا أَوَّلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, meaning the first to obey the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Clearly mentioned that slaughtering for other than Allah is matter of shirk. That salah, prayers, and dhabh are both acts of worship. Because people separate the two. No, this is an act of worship, this is an act of worship. Can a Muslim make salah to an idol or to a human being sitting in front of him? Nobody would say that this is permissible, this is shirk. So what is the difference between the salah and slaughtering? It's the same thing. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي, as is clearly mentioned in the verse. The importance of al-ikhlas, the ibadah to be sincerely done for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also from the verse we see that we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not based on our desires, but based on the evidences from the Quran and the Sunnah, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَا شَرِيكَ لَهُ وَبِذَلِكَ أُمِرْتُ. This is how it was ordered. We do the ibadah based on the orders of Allah, not that we invent things on our own. It has to be something that is the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next verse, فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. Therefore, turn in prayer to your Lord and sacrifice to Him only. So this is an order from Allah. That means it's an act of worship. That means it has to be done only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muslim reports that Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu said, حدثني رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بأربع كلمات لعن الله من ذبح لغير الله لعن الله من لعن والديه لعن الله من آوى محدثا لعن الله من غير منار الأرض. The Prophet ﷺ informed me about 4 judgments of Allah. Allah's curse is upon the one who slaughters to anything other than Allah. Allah's curse is upon the one who curses his own parents. Allah's curse is upon the one who shelters an heretic. Allah's curse is upon the one who alters the landmarks, who changes boundary lines. This is definitely a serious hadith, that a curse of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means to be kicked out and to be away from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means the person will be punished in hellfire as a result of these actions. What is it? لَعَنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ ذَبَحَ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ, the one that slaughtered to other than Allah. Why do people slaughter to other than Allah? Whether it's someone that they worship, or they slaughter to the jinn out of the fear that the jinn would harm them. So they slaughter for their sake, not for the sake of Allah. And the jinn would order them to do that because this is an act of kufr, and this is what they want from them. And we have to be careful, because some people, for example, when they have a new house, they slaughter, right? The original or the roots of this is because of the jinn. To protect their houses from the jinn, so they slaughter. This is shirk. Or they bought a new car, so they slaughter. You have to slaughter something. A chicken or a goat or whatever there is. So the person would do that so that the car is protected from the jinn. Right? This is shirk. You're not slaughtering for the sake of Allah. A person is slaughtering for the sake of jinn. This is definitely matter of shirk that the person has to avoid, clearly mentioned in the hadith. Even what is forbidden is when people slaughter as a result of some king or person of status is coming. They don't slaughter for the meat to eat, they slaughter for the slaughtering. And this is present in some cultures, right? It's the honor that he's coming, so we have to slaughter something for him. And they show the slaughter, when he comes. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like they want to have meat for him to feed him. No, it's the action of slaughtering. They slaughter as a way to honor him because he's coming, right? This is also something that is not permissible. Slaughter is an ibadah that has to be done sincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have a guest, you want to honor the guest, you want to feed him meat. Not like you're slaughtering for him as a way of honoring, that I would slaughter. No. you want to feed him the meat, and this is the intention, that you want to feed him a good meal, mashallah, no problem. But not as a way of honoring him by slaughtering itself. So this is what regarding to the slaughtering. لَعْنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ لَعْنَ وَالِدَيْهِ, that he is cursed, the one that curses his parents, whether it's directly or indirectly. Person can curse his parents directly, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, definitely this is something that is one of the worst of the major sins. Or indirectly, by, as it's mentioned in other hadiths of the Prophet ﷺ, من أقبل الكبائر أن يسب الرجل والديه, that the Prophet ﷺ said one of the major sins when a person curses his own parents. They said, O Prophet of Allah, how can a person do that? The Prophet ﷺ said, the meaning of which, when a man curses someone else's parents, so as a result that person would curses his own parents. That means he was the reason for someone to curse his own parents. He falls onto the same category. That's why a person should not oppose foolish and ignorant people with the same ignorance. They curse you, you return the curse by another curse. They curse you back, you curse their mothers, they curse your mothers, and so on. And this is definitely subject the person to such a major sin, to curse one's parents. لَعَنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ آوَى مُحْدِثًا, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curses the one who shelters a heretic, someone that brought a bid'ah into the religion, or any criminal, someone that committed a crime and you hide him. You hide him, you're opposing the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or you're satisfied with heretics and people of innovations of the religion. That means a person is subjecting himself to the curse of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَعْنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ غَيَّرَ مَنَارَ الْأَرْضِ, the one that moves or changes the landmarks of earth. Making the lands are known. This is the land of someone, and it's known the boundaries of it. He would change that so that he can gain more land to his land or whatever. This is subjecting himself to the curse of Allah. And there's another hadith, whoever takes one hand span of someone's land without the right to do that, he will be chained with this to the seventh earth as a result of that. He will be chained with it, meaning he will be punished as a result of this one hand span only of transgressing the limits of and committing injustice to others. The issues of al-la'n. Is it permissible for us to curse people? The Prophet ﷺ cursed certain types of people. We curse what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cursed and what the Prophet ﷺ cursed, in general terms like this. But there's a big difference between this curse and cursing someone specifically that is doing that. So if you see someone, for example, slaughtering to other than Allah, can we say, may Allah, you are cursed by Allah? No, you should say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curses the one that slaughters to other than Allah. You tell him that Allah curses the one that slaughters other than Allah. Why? Because we do not know for sure, maybe he's ignorant or whatever there is. So we have to make sure that we explain the matter clearly, but Allahu A'lam if he is one or not. And the person, when a person curses others, this is not permissible, because it has to, goes into one or the other. If he deserves to be cursed, then it becomes on him. If not, then it would return to the person that cursed him. Yeah, a person can curse shaitan, but the Prophet ﷺ said, if someone عثرت دابته, if your transportation, for example, broke, do not curse the shaitan, otherwise the shaitan becomes so big. Instead say Bismillah. He will become humiliated. Shaitan likes for people to curse him. It makes him get stronger. That means he's affecting them. He's making them mad. He's making them upset. So instead you say Bismillah, and remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is with the slaughtering and the curses and so on. Chapter, it's clear? No questions?
There's nothing wrong with just slaughtering for the meat itself, just one.
Oh, slaughtering for the meat, mashallah, isn't it? No. And when a person slaughters for the meat, when he's slaughtering, this is an act of worship. That's why he say Bismillah. And he do it in the proper way. It's an act of worship. But slaughtering for the meat, this is what people slaughter for. This is why we slaughter for the meat, and to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the slaughter as a ritual, when people do that as a ritual, for a status or for whatever there is, this is what is not permissible.